Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Paul here for another live Better Call Paul to recap what happened in and around Introduce Multimedia last week. And so, why don't we just start it off at the top? Hope everybody had a really good weekend. So, the first we're going to switch things up a little bit, see if you catch it. The videos we launched last week. Number one, for the Diamondale Business Association, the Discover Diamondale page. We did a short video on their Diamondale days. And so you should check that out. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. Check them out on Facebook. That's for the Diamondale Business Association. The next thing, we started our new video series for starting this week, which we're going to highlight some videos we did with the Entrepreneur Institute of Michigan, in which they highlight several businesses that went through their business plan class. So the first video we have out there is with Tejmika Torak of the Firecracker Foundation, and she talks a little bit about how the Entrepreneur Institute helped her in building a nonprofit and what she learned from it. She actually went through as a business owner, but she took some of the concepts and applied it to the Firecracker Foundation. And so if you don't know what's going on with the Firecracker Foundation, I suggest you watch this video. Doing some great things in the area. And lastly, our Jazz Friday. Our hashtag Jazz Friday is from last year's East Lansing Summer Solstice Jazz Festival, and that was Gary Motley performing Departure. So check that out. I hope you like those Jazz Fridays. Let us know what you think about those. And so, as always, you subscribe to our videos at hashtag BetterCallPaul. That is our internal channel in which we produce stuff for you, specifically around the video production world and what's going in and around with our clients and behind the scenes and so on and so forth. And then it's our client channel, which is the Introduce Multimedia channel on YouTube. So please subscribe to both of those. We'd like to talk with you about those, comment and share and like all the videos and so on and so forth. So moving right on to what you may have missed on the blog. First is our hashtag BetterCallPaul outtakes with Malik of Lansing Made. These were outtakes that we did for his sponsor video for Child and Family Charities. It's funny. Check it out. As always, he's a good sport. And then, of course, if you missed what was launched last week, you can check out our Better Call Paul Live from last week. That's on the blog. And lastly, our Second Brain Collective podcast with Doug Horne of EnPower Solutions. That's a local IT consulting firm, and he talks a little bit about his history and being part of the IT world, how that's evolved, and how he markets as a small business. So check out that podcast. It's always interesting to hear from those in the tech world how things are going on. With the other channels, RideHomeReviews. I know that I mentioned that I was going to review a certain movie and I switched it up at the last minute. I went and saw Inconvenient sequel, Truth to Power, which is the obvious sequel to the documentary Inconvenient Truth with Al Gore. It's very interesting. They took a different take with this one. So it's pretty good. But this week I'm finally going to go see the film Detroit. And so check out my review on that next week. Other than that, please subscribe to my channel, RideHomeReviews. I get a lot of feedback from that people enjoy those. So, but I also have other channels. I also review some TV shows that I watch on Anchor, and I also have a podcast if you want to listen to it on the go. And so there you go. Events coming up this week, just a couple of them. Thursday is a business networking event in Mason at the Ingham County Fairgrounds, which is called Good Morning Mason. This is a bi-monthly event, and it starts at 7:15. Program starts promptly at around 7:45. So check that out. Hope to see you there. Tell them if you're a visitor, tell them I sent you, and meet up with me there. 7:15 in the morning at Mason, Michigan, Ingham County Fairgrounds. Next is a couple of events this weekend. The first one is the Capital City Comic-Con at the Breslin Center. Goes from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So check that out. It's always a good time if you're a comic book fan or television fan or a fan of whatever that's out there. Check that out. They're going big this year, going to the Breslin Center. So it's only a one-day event. So if you try to go on Sunday, it won't be there. And another one-day event that's always a lot of fun is happening in Reotown, starting at noon and ending at 10. A little bit longer is Reotown's Art Attack. So if you like to see good art happening in the place, good music, good beer, good people, head on down to Reotown for Saturday night. And check out the Comic-Con first at the Breslin Center, then head on over to Reotown. It's a $15 ticket for the Comic-Con. Reotown, the Art Attack is free, so to attend. So check it out. I hope to see some of you there. There's a lot of happening around here, so I don't know. Anyway, time to move on from what's going on inside Uno Deuce to outside Uno Deuce in the video television production realm. And the first one is a good article from the New York Times called "The Messy, Confusing Future of TV. It's Here." And that's basically an article that talks about the differences between having an a la carte system in which you have all these different apps or channels that you subscribe to, such as Netflix and Hulu Plus and YouTube Red and Amazon Prime, and of course now HBO Go. And soon Disney's going to have a couple of streaming channels of their own that you can subscribe to, and how that is kind of like you can't really find everything in one space. It's kind of all disjointed, and yeah, how is that really saving you money? That's a good question. That is a very good question to ask about how is this going to save you money versus the cable beast. So check out that article and let me know what you think. Yeah, I'd like to talk to you more about that. And the next article is from advancedtelevision.com, and it's talking about the 4 streaming subscriber types. And I'm going to read these off because I couldn't remember them right offhand. And these are interesting. This is interesting to look into a little bit more. First, you have the pay TV supplementers. In other words, they got, the video on demand along with, cable and or satellite viewing. The pay TV substitutors, which is basically, bucking the traditional pay TV, and really using their, almost the cord cutters, pretty much close to it, but, and then there's the quantum viewers, and so these are the ones that are pretty much the general cord cutters. They're not paying for any television at all. They may be paying for some services and so on and so forth. But mostly, they're not using any network or cable-based or satellite-based television. And then the video Luddites. Well, that's basically anybody who doesn't use any of the subscription-based or non-cord cutting, or just basically is traditional terrestrial TV, satellite, cable, regular network TV. They're not buying into the Netflix or the Hulus or the Amazons, stuff like that. So yeah, so those are the 4 streaming subscriber types. Go to the link and read more about those. And where do you fit in? Where do you fit in with all this? Are you a supplementer? Are you a substituter? Are you a complete cutter? Cord cutter. Don't want to mix words there, but let me know what you think. I'm a actual cord cutter. I don't pay for any television whatsoever, but I do have Netflix, Hulu Plus, and Amazon Prime, and dabbled with thinking about YouTube Red and HBO Go. We're gonna see what happens with the internet to decide if we do anything. It would be HBO Go. That's my opinion there. So check that article out. And lastly is more of a local article, but it's something that's of interest to me. A local blogger called Capital Gains, had this great article talking about updating Lansing's booming coffee industry. It's just awesome around here. We got some great places that not only roast but also deliver some awesome coffee, and and we've got places like Strange Matter, which has now 2 locations, Bloom Coffee Roasters, which is up in Old Town, Michigan Blue Owl Coffee, which is in Rio Town, and they're supplied. Some of them are supplied by Craft and Mason, which is a really cool, good cold brew and coffee roaster in the area. We also have places like up in Owasso, we have Foster Coffee Company, and then in Holt we got the Coffee Barrel and the Coffee Jam out on the west side of Lansing, as well as the one in DeWitt, which is the Crafted Bean. There's just some awesome opportunities for entrepreneurs that are in the coffee industry, and we in the Lansing area who love coffee, which there's a lot of us. Yes, I'm amongst those zombies. It's just good for us. It's just absolutely awesome to have all these creative and savvy entrepreneurs building a business and being able to collaborate and not really be competition, but maybe co-opetition, stuff like that. It's really an awesome, cool thing. But read the article, get yourself brushed up on all the places to go if you are a coffee lover. So, and lastly, we come to our question of the week. And the question of the week is: can video be played through an aux cable, considering the fact that the device it's on supports video output? It's a great question. Like a lot of iPhones and stuff like that, which have a video output. However, an aux cable, as it is basically the 1/8 inch or the mini plug. They do not carry video. They cannot carry video. They can only carry audio. Video is not supported through an aux cable. It's just how it is. So just remember, an aux cable is audio only. Even though the device that it's plugging into does support video output, but that video output comes through a different way. Like it comes through the lightning cable, or it comes through an RCA, so on and so forth. Stuff like that. Does not come through an aux cable. Now, there's a bit of a discrepancy in older cameras, such as some Sony cameras and some Sony Handycam handheld cameras, and also the Canon GH1. They had what looked like an aux cable that split out into RCA, a video and audio out. Now that's something completely different, in which they built the mini plug to be able to carry video. However, for the most part, the aux cable just mostly, if it doesn't branch out into any type of RCA or any type of video output, it can only carry an audio signal. So that's the question of the day. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you think of this. Please share, comment, like on this video. And as always, we're going to be here at 4 o'clock every Monday. So if you missed what happened last week, you can always catch up, catch the links, so on and so forth. We try to be as prompt as possible with these. But if you have any questions, you have any comments about what's happening in the video world, production-wise, creative-wise, storytelling-wise, then you know what to do. You better call Paul. All right, see you guys next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Do something creative. Oh. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to go live.
Oh, you did all that.